Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind, these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy.
All right, folks, here we are after market close on Friday, December 17th. We're going to take a look at SoFi. I almost didn't make a SoFi video tonight because I was thinking, maybe nothing had really changed since my relative strength video or, the hanging tough video that was about relative strength. And I'm also pretty under the weather today. So that said, I was going to write a post on my channel and I was screenshotting the intraday charts, and then I came in to take a screenshot of the daily, and I realized that our old auto channel, down channel here, has recently been sort of consolidated out of. So this is what we've been talking about for, I don't know, a couple of weeks maybe on the channel, was looking for SoFi to work its way out of this down channel. And like I had said, most likely by way of sort of building a base, right? Just some sideways movement will get you out of a channel, right? It doesn't have to be this sort of like V, it doesn't have to come down and then shoot back up, and that's the only way that you can work yourself out of a channel. So good to see it consolidating here. Now, I do also think that it's continuing to show, you could think of it as sort of like relative strength against, FinX, which was down today, actually, and ARKF, which was up a little over 1%. So SoFi outpacing those pretty significantly. And, but, also yesterday when it was down much more than FinX, which was down 3%, and ARKF I think was also down about 3%. Yeah, a little over 3%, and SoFi was down I think a little over 5, right? Almost 6. So definitely like just more erratic. So I do think on strong days it's showing outsized strength, but then on weaker days it does have the capacity still to draw down much more than these ETFs, which, they're meant to be more stable anyway. So that kind of makes sense. But I do think that it's a good sign that it continues to show added strength when these ETFs are showing sort of some limited strength. That to me says that it's kind of following the sector, it's kind of following the macro forces of the overall market, right? We saw that happen yesterday, and then today, with the market being down, it's actually the fintech space is actually showing some strength, and particularly SoFi as it pertains to that. So, really, really good to see. And I think that, this is certainly an opportunity. I don't know if it will continue to roll itself out and continue some sideways action. We've been looking for sort of like, where's the level, right? Where's the level that it's going to sort of find itself a little base to build, and it can just sort of bat itself around between a resistance and support level. And it may be, right here in the mid 14s to the mid 15s. I think that's what I had said a couple of videos ago, was that could potentially be the range. So we'll see. But there's certainly fake outs, right? Like this looked like it could have been recovering, and then it just fell back down into the channel. But that's when it was still in the channel. So I do think that there's just supreme value in not trying to jump up and like immediately hit your head on the top of the channel, but just work yourself out of the channel. So to me, that's all looking really good. And if we look at the intraday, it is to me sort of moving at really logical levels. You see it came down here to 1366 this morning. We had this 1355 support level that we had put in a few days ago, and that came within 11 cents and really sort of kicked off nicely from there. And then you see this action right around this 1402 level that continues to be really strong. Shot up, resistance, sort of regroup, and then take it, confirm it, and then go. So really, really good motion there. What I look for in these is just sort of like, is the price action making sense for what we have on the charts? And when it does make sense on the chart, not only does it reconfirm the chart, but it says to me that the stock is moving in ways that I don't want to say are predictable, but we at least it's following the roadmap that we've placed, which is the chart. And so in that sort of a situation, you can at least take some solace in, okay, I know where it's probably going to hit some resistance here, and we'll see what it does. And I'll know where it will probably catch some support here, and we'll see what it does. And it gives you just places to pay attention and look for, key key points in price action when it's going to sort of do something, right? Reject off of a resistance or flip a resistance to a support level, and then sort of like maybe start moving toward the next resistance level. So that's why I like to see that. So to that end, like I said, to the downside here, if it needs it again, 1355 is the area that I would still look at. And if it's able to work itself within this range, the range that I see is 1402 support to the immediate downside, and then 1557 to the upside. And if and when it makes it an attempt back there, be interesting to see, if it rejects hard off of there, if it needs a few attempts, if it kind of sticks itself to it, if it immediately tries to go for a flip or what have you. But I do think that SoFi is going to be sort of still a bit at the behest of the overall market forces, right? There's still a lot of fear, uncertainty, doubt, all of the FUD words in the market, I think, and folks not really knowing what's going to happen, and the market seeming a bit like jittery and choppy to folks. So I think that will obviously play a large factor for SoFi, but it'll be interesting to see where the overall fintech sector moves within those macro forces. There's sort of all these layers, right? There's the individual stock, which is the lowest layer, and then there's maybe all of its comps or all of its sympathy plays, and that's the next layer. And then there's another bubble that's a little bit bigger, which is the whole sector, and then there's a bubble that's bigger than that, which is the overall like indices within the market. So I think that's probably still going to dominate, and each of those bubbles will have additional impacts as we get into next week. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the day, and excited to see what it does with these levels as we get through the weekend and kick things off for a short week next week. All right, at this point, I'm just brain fogged and repeating myself, and so I I hope that some folks enjoy this video coming out today, and sorry if it's a little bit scattered and not don't seem like my usual self, but I'll heal up over the weekend, hopefully, and come back strong with you next week. All right, folks, I hope that you had a solid trading week and that you have an enjoyable weekend. And I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.